Hi, nice to see you again. I'm going to tell a story about kidney transplant immune rejection in Godfather version. The chubby diabetes kingdom, affectionately known as Chub, is an irresistibly cozy place. Everything is soft and cushiony. The land, the mountains, even the inner structures feel like squishy pillows. Food is abundant, flowing freely day and night. Citizens can enjoy cheerful midnight snacks and beer whenever they please. The king is a kind and indulgent ruler. He never forces his people to do anything unpleasant. No early mornings, no strict diets, no sweaty exercises. The king's consultant team, however, once attempted a health reform. They enforced harsh new rules: dinner limited to broccoli and a tiny piece of chicken, followed by 30 minutes of running each day. Can you imagine? A storm of complaints flew straight to the king. The food was tasteless. The citizens were exhausted all day. The king, being far too nice to let his people suffer, swiftly abolished the dreadful mandates. The whole kingdom cheered the return of their happy old days. It's no surprise that every citizen, even including the consultant team, adored the king. Life was sweet, but trouble was brewing beneath the softness. As the kingdom grew larger and heavier, the central pump factory began to struggle under the load. The main transportation system, the circunet, became sluggish, clogged with sugar and fat in the crimson flow. Most alarming of all was the failing waste management factory. Its tiny filtration units, glomeruli, were being worn away by the sugary tide. Their performance dropped steadily. Then, one bright Monday morning, disaster struck. Both waste factories shut down. Wastewater flooded the kingdom, swelling it like a water balloon. The circunet brimmed with toxic crimson flow. The nutrition supply center couldn't keep up. Food came in, but immediately gushed out. The central pump factory thrashed wildly, sometimes racing, sometimes crawling. Its elegant rhythm shattered. It was a full-blown emergency. The consultant team advised the king to connect the circunet to an external filtration machine. At least twice a week, they said, to clean the crimson flow. It worked, somewhat. Life returned to a semblance of normal, but everything became inconvenient. The citizens had to follow strict filtration schedules. Parties were cancelled. Diets became strict. The fun was gone. Should we install a new waste management factory? The king asked. That would be the best option, the consultants replied. But these factories are extremely rare. We may have to wait years. They were right. 2 years passed. No donors. The kingdom faced at least 3 more years of waiting. Growing impatient, the king made the boldest decision of his life. He would purchase and import a waste management factory. Before long, a shady agent whispered news of a deal. A poor but lively young kingdom on the other side of the world was willing to sell one of its waste factories. The king didn't even know the name of the kingdom. He didn't care. The factory looked fresh and shiny, its structures well preserved. But it came with a crew, factory workers from the donor kingdom. And they were so different. They wore unfamiliar ID badges, HLA, which were quickly spotted by the kingdom's border inspectors, dendritic cells. The king wasn't thrilled about importing foreign workers, but he had no choice. He couldn't rely on filtration forever, and he was done waiting. And so on a sunny Friday, the borrowed waste management factory was welcomed into Chub Kingdom, unaware of the storm it would soon stir. Even in a gradually decaying kingdom, there remains a loyal and duty-bound defense system, ever vigilant against foreign invasions and internal uprisings. So the moment the new waste factory is connected to the circunet, standard protocol kicks in. All incoming workers must present their blood passports. Disaster strikes in a blink. Every worker from the imported factory holds a B-type passport. Unfortunately, Chub Kingdom only issues A-type passports and has a long-standing no-negotiation rule. Attack on sight if anyone with a B-type passport is detected. So when these unfamiliar B-type workers flood in, the defense system interprets it as a full-blown enemy invasion. Less than a minute later, before the factory even has time to power up, sirens blare throughout the kingdom. No time for paperwork or central command approval. The anti-bee superglue naturally occurring antibodies, circulating in the crimson flow, immediately latch onto the foreign workers, setting off a cascade of landmines. The complement system detonates all around the factory. Bridges, blood vessels linking the factory to the circunet are blown to bits. The interior of the factory clots up with rock-hard rubble, platelet activation, and thrombosis. The explosions call in a wave of aggressive enforcers, the beat cops of the kingdom, neutrophils, polymorphonuclear leukocytes. They storm the site, hurling oxidative bubble bombs, ROS, and dissolving drops, proteolytic enzymes, reducing the brand new factory to a charred ruin. Supply lines are obliterated, pipes are clogged beyond repair. The shiny new factory goes completely dark before it can process a single drop of waste, a complete disaster. The king nearly loses his mind. What do we do now? What do we do? The consultant team is furious. Why didn't the import department run proper checks? They should have matched blood passports, or at least run a basic cross-match test beforehand. Now the whole kingdom is paying the price for this reckless move. To salvage the situation, the consultants implement an expensive emergency strategy. Remove the anti-bee superglue using a massive external sorting plant, a plasmapheresis machine. Here's how it works. The entire crimson flow and its base medium, plasma, are rerouted outside the kingdom. Inside the sorting plant, essential components, red and white cells, platelets, are carefully filtered and returned. The problematic base medium, saturated with anti-bee antibodies, is discarded. In its place, clean, fresh replacement fluids, plasma and albumin, are pumped back into circulation. To bolster the kingdom's strength, the consultants even ordered some imported reinforcements: IVIG, intravenous immunoglobulin, protein-packed shields to stabilize the defense. This treatment must be repeated multiple times over several days to thoroughly purge every trace of anti-bee glue from the system. Meanwhile, to prevent any remaining landmines from going off, the consultants deploy a specialized glue neutralizer, eculizumab, a monoclonal antibody that targets complement component C5, shutting down the entire detonation cascade. Throughout the process, the kingdom is bathed in fire-quenching agents, steroids, to cool down the overheated defense network. These keep the agitated police and soldiers from sounding the alarm, signaling molecules like IL-2 and NF-κB for a full-scale troop deployment. After a week of intensive care and a sky-high medical bill of over $60,000, the kingdom finally stabilizes. No further attacks occur, and for now, the battered factory is temporarily saved.